The people who beat social anxiety didn't fix their mindset. They broke their nervous system out of a loop it never asked to be in. Every room you walk into, you shrink, and every time you shrink, your brain files that as proof that shrinking was the right call. The people who figured this out aren't just more confident, they are biologically different from who they used to be. By the end of this video, you'll understand why everything the self-help industry told you about confidence is the reason you're still stuck. And you'll have a 30-day system built on the one mechanism that actually changes it. Your nervous system isn't broken. It is doing exactly what it was trained to do. Here's the mechanism. Every time you faced a social situation and felt fear, and then left, avoided, or stayed silent, your amygdala recorded the outcome as a survival win. You lived. So it runs that program again next time, faster and stronger. A 2008 study out of Harvard found that avoidance behavior in social anxiety sufferers physically thickens the threat detection pathways in the brain over time. You aren't anxious because of who you are. You are anxious because of what you've repeatedly done. And that distinction is everything, because what's been trained can be retrained. But the retraining process is the opposite of what every confidence coach is selling you.
So, if the brain learns through repeated behavior, why doesn't positive self-talk work? Because self-talk lives in the prefrontal cortex, the threat response lives in the amygdala. And the amygdala does not speak English. It doesn't process affirmations. It doesn't update because you journaled about your worth. It updates through direct physical experience, specifically through surviving situations it previously flagged as dangerous. This is why a confident person telling you to just be yourself is the most useless advice in the world. Their amygdala already learned that social situations are safe. Yours hasn't. The fix isn't a new belief. It's a new body of evidence, gathered in the real world one small encounter at a time. That's what Week 1 is designed to do. Week 1 is about starting so small your brain can't object. Day 1, make eye contact with one stranger and hold it for 2 full seconds before looking away. That's it. Day 2, say good morning to a cashier and wait for a response. Don't rush away. Stand there. Day 3, ask a stranger what time it is, even if you have a phone. These aren't social skills exercises. They are controlled detonations, tiny activations of the threat response that you survive one by one. By day 7, your target is one brief, unsolicited comment to a stranger per day. Not a conversation, a comment, something real and unrehearsed. Each one is a data point your amygdala is forced to log. I activated, nothing bad happened. And that log is building something. But here's the part that surprises most people about how fast this actually compounds. By day 8, you've survived 7 small activations. Your amygdala has 7 new data points. Now we escalate. Week 2 introduces sustained contact, interactions that last longer than 10 seconds. Day 8, ask a store employee for a recommendation, then actually discuss it. Day 10, strike up a 2-minute conversation with someone in a waiting room. Day 12, disagree with someone mildly in a group setting. That last one is critical. Social anxiety isn't just fear of people, it's fear of disapproval. Disagreeing and surviving that micro-rejection is one of the most powerful reprogramming moments in the entire 30 days. By day 14, your milestone is this. You will have initiated 5 real conversations with strangers, and you have logged in writing what happened afterward. Not how you felt, what actually happened. Because the gap between those two things is where the cure lives.
Here's the part that changes everything. You've been told that anxiety is the enemy, something to reduce, suppress, or breathe through before you act. That is exactly backwards. The research of Dr. Martin Antony at Ryerson University, who has spent decades studying exposure-based anxiety treatment, found that the goal of exposure is not to feel calm. It is to feel anxious and act anyway. That distinction is the entire mechanism. Your nervous system doesn't update when you avoid the fear. It doesn't update when you manage the fear. It updates when you feel the fear, move forward, and nothing catastrophic happens. The anxiety is the signal that reprogramming is occurring. Every time your heart rate spikes and you speak anyway, that spike is your amygdala revising its threat assessment in real time. You don't overcome anxiety by defeating it. You overcome it by using it as proof that you showed up. The people who wired themselves for social fearlessness didn't do it by feeling less. They did it by doing more while feeling everything. And now you can see why week 1's tiny drills weren't small. They were surgical. Now that you understand the mechanism, week 3 stops waiting for discomfort and starts engineering it. This is voluntary exposure at scale. Day 15, introduce yourself to someone and use their name twice in conversation. Day 17, call a business on the phone instead of using an app and don't hang up if you stutter. Day 19, attend one social event you would normally decline. Not to perform, not to impress, just to stay for 90 minutes. The milestone at day 21 is the hardest one in the program. Speak up in a group setting, a meeting, a class, a dinner, when you have something to say but feel the pull to stay quiet. Say it anyway. Your voice shaking is not failure. Your voice shaking while you keep talking, that is the drill working.
Week 4 is where the identity shift happens. The drills don't stop, but they stop feeling like drills. Day 22. Start a conversation with the specific intent of making the other person feel heard. Ask follow-up questions. Stay curious. Day 25. Go somewhere alone, a restaurant, a movie, a bar, and be comfortable with the discomfort of being seen solo. Day 28. Have one honest, vulnerable conversation with someone you know. Not deep, dark secrets, just something real that you'd normally keep behind the mask. The milestone at day 30 is this. Walk into a room, look around, and do not shrink. Not because the anxiety is gone, because you've now proven to your own nervous system with 30 days of behavioral evidence that you can feel the fear and function anyway. That's not confidence as a feeling. That's confidence as a fact.
Here's the thing. No one tells you at the end of a protocol like this. Day 30 isn't a finish line. It's the moment your baseline resets. What used to be a terrifying room is now just a room. And here's the final thought to carry with you. Anxiety didn't make you weak. Avoiding it did. The 30 days you just mapped out aren't about becoming someone else. They're about letting your nervous system catch up to the person you already are. Subscribe because this channel exists for one reason, to give you the behavioral systems that actually change your life, not just your mood. The next program starts now.